Welcome students. So today we are moving to the second part of our chapter 12, that is plant physiology. Okay. So in plant physiology we are moving to deal with photosynthesis and respiration. Today we are moving to photosynthesis. Before that, you know what are plastids? Plastids are double membrane organelles. Double membrane organelles means it having two membranes. Okay, so plastids are double membrane organelles which are found in plants. There are three types of plastids: chloroplast, chromoplast, and leucoplast. Chromoplast, chloroplast and leucoplast are the three types of plastids that are found in plants. Those are double membrane bounded organelles. Chloroplasts are green colored plastids. Chromoplasts are red, orange or yellow colored plastids. Leucoplasts are colorless plastids. Okay, so plastids are double membrane bounded organelles which are present in plants. There are three types of plastids: chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. First one is chloroplast. Chloroplasts are green colored plastids that are found in plants. Then chromoplasts are red, orange or yellow colored plastids that are found in plants. Then leucoplasts are colorless plastids. Okay. So, for photosynthesis, chloroplast is an essential organelle. Chloroplast is an essential organelle. Chloroplast is also a double membrane bounded organelle having outer and inner envelope. Chloroplast containing the pigment that are responsible for the process photosynthesis. Chloroplast containing the pigment that are responsible for photosynthesis. That pigment are called chlorophyll. Pigment are called chlorophyll. This is a necessary pigment that is for the photosynthesis. So chloroplast contain outer membrane and inner membrane. That is, it contain an envelope. Has outer membrane and inner membrane, and the outer membrane and inner membrane there is a space called intermembrane space. This space is called intermembrane space. Intermembrane space. Okay. So, envelope. Then, next to envelope, that is stroma. The whole matrix portion of the chloroplast are called stroma. The whole matrix portion of the chloroplast is called stroma, and it contains DNA, 70S ribosomes and all other molecules which are required for protein synthesis. So, the matrix are called stroma. It contains DNA, 70S ribosome and all other molecules which are responsible for the synthesis of protein. So, we know. So, from this we came to know that in chloroplast protein synthesis takes place. Okay. Then, next is thylakoid. Thylakoids. What are thylakoids? It consists of thylakoid membrane that encloses thylakoid lumens. That is, the photosynthetic pigments are present in thylakoids. The photosynthetic pigments Who is photosynthetic pigment? Yes, chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is photosynthetic pigments that are present in the thylakoids. Thylakoids are arranged in disc-like shape structure. Disc-like shape structure, and that are arranged one above the other. So this is called grana. Individual unit are called granum. This is grana and individual unit are granum. So adjacent grana are connected by stroma lamella. So this is the simple structure. Basic thing you have to be noted in the chloroplast structure. You have to be thorough about the chloroplast structure. Okay. Then, what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process by which autotrophic organisms utilize the energy from the sunlight to synthesize their own food. You know what are autotrophic organisms? Autotrophic organisms are organisms that can the ability to synthesize their own food, that are called autotrophic organisms. So photosynthesis is a process by which the autotrophic organism having chlorophyll pigments. All autotrophic organisms will have chlorophyll pigments, and those autotrophic organisms, they synthesize their own food by utilizing energy from the sunlight. This process is called photosynthesis, and it is occur in the chloroplast. Why? Because the chlorophyll pigments are present in the chloroplast. In this process, the carbon dioxide combines with water to produce carbohydrates. In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So, carbon dioxide. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 12 molecules of water combine in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Give carbohydrate and oxygen Okay, so carbon dioxide combined with carbon dioxide plus water will give carbohydrates plus oxygen. Okay. So, the autotrophic organisms which utilize the energy that from the sunlight and it combines with water to produce carbohydrates and oxygen. This process is called photosynthesis. For photosynthesis, the pigments are required. Photosynthesis, the process photosynthesis, it requires pigments. That pigments are called photosynthetic pigments. The pigments that require for the photosynthesis are called photosynthetic pigments. Photosynthetic pigments. So, pigments that are required for the photosynthesis are called photosynthetic pigments that are of two types. Primary pigments and accessory pigments. Primary pigments and accessory pigments. Primary pigments and accessory pigments. Now we can differentiate what is the difference between primary pigments and accessory pigments. Primary pigments and accessory pigments. First one, primary pigments. The example for primary pigment is chlorophyll A. Chlorophyll A is the example for primary pigment. That of accessory pigment is chlorophyll B and carotenoids. Chlorophyll B and carotenoids. Okay, so primary pigment means the chlorophyll A is absorb the energy, that is it absorb the light energy from the sunlight and it convert into chemical energy or electrical energy. So primary pigment means the chlorophyll A, it absorb the light energy and it convert into electrical energy or chemical energy. So it is called reaction center. Called reaction center. Whereas the accessory pigment, that is chlorophyll B and carotenoids, it absorb the light energy and it pass to the chlorophyll A. So the chlorophyll B and carotenoid, it absorb light energy from the sunlight and it pass that energy to the chlorophyll A molecule. So it is called as harvesting center. So these are the two types of pigments, primary pigments and accessory pigments. Primary pigments and accessory pigments. Example for primary pigment is chlorophyll A. Accessory pigment is chlorophyll B and carotenoids. So the chlorophyll A absorbs light energy from the sunlight and it converted into chemical energy and electrical energy. So it is called as reaction center. Whereas the accessory pigment, chlorophyll B and carotenoid, it absorbs the light energy and it passes to the chlorophyll A. So it is called as harvesting center. These are the two photosynthetic pigments that are responsible for the photosynthesis. Now, what is the reaction that takes place in photosynthesis? Photosynthesis takes place in two steps, that is light reaction and dark reaction. Light reaction, second one is dark reaction. So light reaction, obviously it takes place in the presence of light. Presence of light. Here, dark reaction means it takes place in the absence of light. That we will discuss later. First one, light reaction. Light reaction is it takes place in the presence of light. So it is called light dependent reaction. Light reaction, it takes place in the presence of light. So it is called light dependent reaction, also known as Hill's reaction. Hill's reaction. Why? Because this light reaction, it is observed by Robin Hill. It is observed or it is discovered by Robin Hill. So it is called Hill's reaction. And it is takes place in the presence of light, hence it is called light dependent reaction. This light dependent reaction, that is takes place in the grana of the chloroplast. It takes place in the grana of chloroplast. So the photosynthetic pigments that absorb light energy and convert it into chemical energy, that is ATP and NADPH. So in light reaction, what happens? It absorb the light energy and it convert into ATP and NADPH. ATP and NADPH2 are the output or byproduct of light reaction. So in light reaction, what happens? The chlorophyll pigment, that is chlorophyll pigment, it absorb the light energy and it converted into chemical energy, that is ATP and NADPH2. Okay, and these ATP and NADPH2, it occurs in the grana and it moves to the stroma of the chloroplast. So after this process, this ATP and NADPH2, it moves from the grana into the stroma of the chloroplast. So this is what? Light reaction. So light reaction, it takes place in the presence of light, so that it is called as light dependent reaction. So it is discovered by Robert Hill, so it is called Hill's reaction. The light reaction takes place in the grana of the chloroplast. Then the photosynthetic pigments that absorb light and it convert into chemical energy, that is ATP and NADPH2. After that, these ATP and NADPH2 move out from the grana to the stroma. This is light reaction. Then what are dark reaction? Dark reaction takes place in the absence of light. Absence of light. And it occurs in the stroma of chloroplast. So dark reaction, it occurs in the absence of light, that is, it is called as light independent reaction. Light independent reaction. So it is called as the light independent reaction. This is the biosynthetic phase. Biosynthetic phase. Biosynthetic phase. Okay. Biosynthetic phase. So during this reaction, the carbon dioxide is reduced into carbohydrates. The carbon dioxide is reduced into carbohydrate with the help of ATP and NADPH2. With the help of ATP and NADPH2. So during this reaction, the carbon dioxide is reduced into carbohydrate with the presence of ATP and NADPH2. So this is also called as Calvin cycle. Calvin cycle. Why? Because this is discovered by Calvin, so it is called Calvin cycle. Okay, so these are light reaction and dark reaction. Light reaction and dark reaction. So in Calvin cycle, the inputs are carbon dioxide from atmosphere, ATP and NADPH2 from the light reaction, and the output is carbohydrates and oxygen. Carbohydrates and oxygen. So these are light reaction and dark reaction. It's an important question. You have to be studied. It is very simple. You have to know where it is takes place, whether it requires light or not, and what are the output. Okay. Then what are the factors that affecting photosynthesis? Factors affecting photosynthesis. Internal factors will affect photosynthesis and external factors will affect photosynthesis. Both internal and external factors. Internal and external factors. Internal factors and external factors will affect photosynthesis. What are the internal factors? Pigments, leaf age, accumulation of carbohydrates and Hormones are the internal factors. Leaf age, pigments, hormones, accumulation of carbohydrates. So what are the internal factors? Leaf age, pigments, accumulation of carbohydrates and hormones are the internal factors. What are the external factors that affecting photosynthesis? Light, carbon dioxide, temperature, water and minerals. Light, carbon dioxide, temperature, mineral elements, okay, so light, carbon dioxide, temperature and mineral elements. Find light, carbon dioxide, temperature, mineral elements, and the essential one is water. So these are the external factors that depend the photosynthesis, whereas leaf age, pigments, accumulation of carbohydrates are the internal factors that depend photosynthesis. So what are the factors that that affect the photosynthesis? That are of two types, internal factors and external factors. Internal factors are leaf age, pigments, hormones and accumulation of carbohydrates, whereas external factors are light, carbon dioxide, temperature and mineral elements, finally water. So these are the factors that affect photosynthesis. So we completed photosynthesis. Next, finally the respiration is remaining, that we will discuss in the next class.